I'm Kirby Plessis.
I'm Sarah Wutler.
I'm Cynthia Navarro.
All right, fantastic. So let me just quickly, I want to make sure that I have my Twitch toolbar, wherever I put it, I don't know. Anyway, okay, maybe not. But anyway, we've got some cool topics today. For those of you who came to our Friday planning meeting, we shifted a little bit because of events that came up. Although we will cover those topics that we talked about as well. So, first topic, the Laura Owens Saga. Now, I'm really not going to pick too much on this girl, Laura Owens, although we will give you some resources to go and check out the story that's going on here. But we want to talk about citizen journalism, and in some cases where it's actually needed, right? So sometimes citizen journalism is going along with it and like doing concurrent investigations while police is going on, and maybe that's needed, maybe not. But in this case, for example, this person was scamming people. Yeah, scamming for over 10 years. And the only reason that it's actually turned into a 7 felony indictment this summer is because citizen journalism got into action when she started scamming a popular reality show contestant. All right. So he had an audience. His audience was technologically savvy, and they decided, hey, we know that this isn't right. And they dove in and started to kind of prove things. So I'm going to just kind of go over some of the examples of things that could have been, could be proven, could be, that you can do if you have to do a similar type of investigation. Again, we're not really going to pick too much on this person, but some of the highlights are that, one, she's very litigious. All right. So people who mention her, including this guy who we have up right now, Dave Neal, she has actually threatened him with defamation. At least that's what he says right now, right? Or we could say allegedly, right? Anyway, so what can you do when you're doing your investigations and protect yourself from litigation? And my first suggestion is, first of all, do OSINT and not human. Do not think you are an investigator if you're a citizen investigator. I mean, don't think you're a badged investigator, a sworn employee. Don't go talk to them. Don't interact. You are doing passive OSINT. What do you guys think?
I think if you're doing just passive collection, I think you should engage. I think if you're an investigative journalist, that's a different issue.
Right. But we're talking about citizen investigators right now, that they see something happening. They know there's illegal content there. They know that the police or journalists are not ready to investigate it yet. How do they kind of step in? And the first thing is, don't. I have a little story here, a little thing that I have. Let me see.
Well, I would also like to mention, for some things, citizen investigators, it is very important for them to stay and do passive collection, because they can actually put themselves in danger by engaging. Not in this instance, but I mean,
no, this instance as well, legal danger. And even though it wouldn't necessarily mean that there's actually legal danger, but there are some people who abuse the legal system where they try and just make you spend out too much so that you stop doing whatever you're doing, right? Yeah. And I'm not saying that that's necessarily happening in this case, but there's those cases. So whether you're in legal or mortal danger, you want to be passive. You do not want to leave digital footprints all over the place, and you want to just collect. Right?
Yeah. It's almost like making a phone call when you have a 800 number to call in when there's been something that's happened, somebody did something illegal, and you're going to I saw this, I gave, and you're just giving tidbits of information, and you're giving it to that professional so they can move forward. Mm-hmm. And I've ran those before with the Wendy's case years ago when they had the finger in the chili. And the calls that we got
from was in your neighborhood, wasn't it?
Yeah. And that was it was a very interesting case, mm-hmm. But we put up a hotline, and I mean, we got a lot of stuff that really didn't matter, but I did get the one call where somebody says, I have this, and then he went into what the job was and what happened, and that was the one clue we needed, and we found the 3 folks and what they had done to get that finger. So very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but that's what it is. They're being very passive. Here's some information, and you give it. It's like giving it to law enforcement. Just give it, let them go forward with the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, and then so my next point is that if there needs to be some interaction or there needs to be some publication of this sort of thing, you need to get a reporter involved, a journalist involved, someone who's already familiar with the legal risks
Mm-hmm.
and can afford the litigation if necessary, right? Where
Yeah.
they can kind of put up, and they can be also the ones who reach out and actually make some interviews, for example.
Right. I agree.
Yep.
Yep.
Cynthia, where'd you go?
She dropped off. Okay.
I know.
She'll be back.
Okay. Yep. I will remove her from the stage until she comes back. Oh, here we go. What happened? Cynthia. Uh-oh, she can't hear us.
Okay. All right. She'll come back.
And she's left. Okay. She is actually joining remotely from a car out in the mountains somewhere. So, you know, we'll give her some leeway on that. So, all right.
The other thing I was going to say about all of this is when you're doing passive collection is make sure to document everything.
Yeah, definitely. I see Cynthia's trying to connect, but it says her devices are not connected. So she's not connected via her camera or her audio yet. They have to connect their mic and cam before we can add them. All right. So anyway, Sarah, can you repeat that last bullet?
So what it said is when you're doing passive collection or any collection, you want to document what you're collecting. So you want to document the source, the time, the date, all the relevant information so that you have it on hand. And if it's online information, you want to get a copy of it, whether it be via archive or whether you be recording it live on your screen with like Camtasia or something like that, or snag it.
Yeah. I think that also one of the really great things they can do is do as much as you can. There we go. Hey, Cynthia, welcome back. We're talking about documenting as much as possible. I think one of the best ways that people can document is put it in the archive, archive.org or archive.today. So that way that archive documents it for you. It grabs the HTML, it grabs the date, the timestamp, it grabs the location, all of that stuff is grabbed for you, and then you can just kind of point to that. And in fact, we do have a link that we will showing that is a web archive link because Sarah is in the very much in the practice of using archive.org.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's important. I think that's one of the best things you can do if you're like a citizen and investigator. Archive.org is a good friend of yours.
Well, even if you're not an investigator and you just want to have better privacy at home, when you open a website and you worry about the website having lots of ad trackers, it's better to open the website into Internet Archive so that you don't get all those ad trackers from that website. Absolutely. And browser fingerprinting.
Yep, absolutely. Another thing as far as OPSEC goes that happened in this case, hold on. I'm trying to go into my, all right. So another thing that happens that we should pay attention to is in this case that the person was monitoring the email openings and that sort of thing. Like I know that somebody opened the emails, that sort of thing. Andrea, hello. Thank you for joining us again.
Hi, Andrea.
Okay, so anyway, this person had put multiple trackers on these emails so that they knew when somebody opened the email, so that she was basically tracking that the person that she was litigating against to identify whether or not that person actually read what she wrote, versus whereas he's saying he didn't. And so that is a thing, and it's a dead simple thing to do. So protect yourself against that. And the main way to protect yourself against that is in your email service. Now, 2 services do this automatically for you, but in your email service, you want to block the images or HTML. It's not going to block attachments, all right? But you're going to block in the settings somewhere, find it where it says block images or block HTML. Our 2 that we know for sure that do this, probably more, because actually I bet Tutanota does this too, but Proton Mail does this, and so does one of the most popular ones out there, Outlook. If you use an Outlook email where it says at the top that these pictures are blocked or whatever, and you can allow them or not, if you stay blocked, you don't have, there's no read receipts. They don't get to see that because that is a little image web bug. And so if you can block that on all your email, then you're not going to have that problem of people knowing whether or not you open an email or not.
Right. Right.
And again, it's dead simple to do those. That's one of the things that to pay attention to too is
To pay attention to.
what's her?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, Cynthia?
That was an echo, I think, from Cynthia's.
Oh, from me? Okay. Okay. So again, it's dead simple. All you need to do in those cases is you can go into, for example, creating your email, especially online, go to the inspect panel, bring in a tracker into the email and an invisible tracker and kind of leave it there. If anybody really wants to know how to do it, I do teach that. But again, that is not OSINT. That's kind of intrusive, and you have to make sure that you're legally allowed to do that. But again, citizens, I don't think that it matters if they do it or not. That's like, it's not because you're not doing the investigations.
A lot of marketing companies do that. When they
Yeah, marketers definitely do that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's actually a very normal practice by a lot of people or a lot of companies.
Oh yeah, I think the thing with it is though, is like professional investigators, because people don't necessarily know that you can do that very often. It gets to be a touchy legal or ethical issue.
Yeah.
So if you're a professional investigator, you want to check that out. But I think citizen, just anybody on their street can like send me an email with a tracker in it, and they're not getting in trouble. Of course, they're not going to get anything off of mine either because I turned off all my images and HTML in my emails. So a question from Andrea: can you use that to stop forwarding notifications as well? I don't think so, because I think, well, let me think about this. It depends on how your notifications are being forwarded. So basically this is when you open an email and they see that you've done it, if that gets forwarded to somebody, then blocking those images would stop that. But if it's another type of forwarding that's built into your email service, then I don't think it would do anything for it. You guys have an input on that? No.
I'm not sure, but I think that would probably differ depending on the email service.
Yeah. So Andrea, if you want to like talk with me later offline, we'll figure out how your notifications are getting forwarded, and maybe I can help you figure out how to stop them. Okay, so we talked about archiving often. I also think that it's really important that you do make your investigation replicable, so that when you turn it over to law enforcement or whoever you're going to turn it to, investigative journalist or whoever, that they can replicate and do exactly the steps you did and get the same answer, so that way they can prove it's not like a black box and something magic just appeared, right?
Right. And I think that also gives, that also shows whether or not there's any flaws in the actual analysis.
Mm-hmm. And if somebody replicates your steps and they come up with a different answer and tell you there's a flaw, do not be upset about this. This is like peer review. It's take it, like reconsider it, figure out why they got a different answer than you did. Maybe your investigation was wrong. Maybe your investigation was right and they did it wrong, but don't get insulted by it, because this is just something that if it doesn't work twice in a row, like the scientific method, then there's something wrong with the method.
Right.
Oh, yeah, totally agree with you on that.
Okay, let's talk about FOIA as OSINT, because one of the other things, and let me play a little clip before we do that, as far as FOIA goes, because FOIA is OSINT, I think. What do you think about that, Cynthia? I know both of us, Sarah and I, both think FOIA is OSINT.
You don't think it is?
We do think it is.
Yeah. OSINT. And why do you think it is?
Because after it's FOIA and it's released to the public, it's public, therefore it's OSINT.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like once breach data is made public and it's online,
it may not be like just Googleable, but
right.
Beyond Google.
I mean, the material itself is not OSINT, and just like breach data in and of itself is not OSINT, but that material is publicly available, therefore can be used for OSINT. For me, it's fair game.
Yeah,
I think it is OSINT. Anything that can be, well, yeah, once it's through FOIA, it's OSINT. Yep. Not before, because they can redact what they need to. Okay, anyway, we're going to play a short clip here.
I know, again, I don't even know who got this footage, so I don't even know who to thank right now. But yeah, due to the Freedom of Information Act, you can request body cam footage when, really in any sort of in any setting like this. So it took a while. This is from January. But as we talked about before, this is Laura Owens, charged with 7 felony fraud charges. She faces probably something like 25 years in prison.
Okay, we're not going to go too much further with that because, again, we don't want to really pick on her. It's just the idea that if you are doing a case like this and there are some things that you could FOIA, that's OSINT. You can do that.
And I just wanted to point something out specifically in this case or this
Mhm.
instance is not only was it that somebody could get the body cam footage for investigative purposes, like to look at the technical, the technical specifications of what the police did, but also it's a helpful resource for debunking misinformation and disinformation, because like specifically in this instance, one of the things that she tried to couch was, oh, they're pointing guns at me. She was saying that, and maybe she didn't realize that they had body cams. I don't know, but nobody was pointing a gun at her. So if you're in a different situation or a different scenario, and somebody's like, well, this happened, and it goes viral, or somebody makes a conspiracy theory about it and it goes viral, and there is body cam footage that can be used to actually debunk that, and then then you can mitigate that misinformation spread.
Absolutely. Okay, next topic. Stay away from the side quests. All right, so now sometimes you're going down this little wormhole of information on your case and there's somebody else who's interesting, something, oh, maybe this person has some problems as well. Is that integral to your case? Because if not, you're doing a side quest, and that side quest could be defamation, and that side quest could give you a lot more problems. Stick to your case. What do you think about that, Sarah?
I'm going to kick that to Cynthia.
Okay. I will say that it depends.
Mhm.
And I'll tell you why, because I was working a case where I needed to go through a lot of public videos. There was a possible, there was definitely a victim, and then there was someone else that may have hit this victim. And I was only tasked with get what information I can on the victim. And as I'm going through it, I'm like catching a lot of stuff from the guy that may have done it, and I'm like, wow, this is kind of interesting. So I started putting it off to the side. I'd find something, I'd put it off to the side. At the end, it actually ended up being information that not even the police was able to find. And so they were so excited that while the case was dropped, they were able to still find that individual that they had been looking for.
But I'd argue that that's not a side quest.
That's not, it's a what?
That's not a side quest. That's the original one. What I'm thinking about side quest is, for example, you're investigating someone, but their lawyer is really annoying and does really cool, annoying things. You don't need to investigate that lawyer.
Oh, no.
Investigate
I'm sorry.
your
I
case.
missed that. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's okay. I mean, maybe that's the gaming lingo because I said side quests.
Okay. Did not catch that. I thought go sideways. And I'm like, I went sideways.
No, yeah, lateral is fine, but side quests, meaning you jump onto another one that's like a whole different case.
Yeah, no, it's too confusing. You're supposed to be focused on something.
It's also, I mean, if you need to, save that for the next time. If you think, okay, there's something major here, okay, park it.
Yeah.
Follow yours first, because you don't want to like try and do them in conjunction. Then it looks kind of like you're bullying and you're kind of just grabbing everything you can about everybody. Sarah, you were gonna add something.
I was just going to say the only thing that I might do is I might just do a quick check to make sure that there's not a conflict of interest with the lawyer and their.
Well, yeah, it relates to your case.
Right, right. But besides that, no.
You're not going to go down another case. You're going to stick to your case at one time. Yeah. I mean, the other one might be another case, and that case might be super important as well, but break it off. It's its own case.
Right. Yep.
Okay, how about, so this one has to do with sometimes some edited images or edited images. So I want to introduce that tool called Forensically. Forensically is fantastic for edited images. In fact, you don't even need to. We are going to put the link up, but let me quickly bring this one up because their original image is actually an edited image. All right, so let me switch this out for a different one. I'm going to get so good at this eventually. Okay, so better put it on the stage though. Okay, so this is forensically, and this is their default image, and it's an edited image, obviously, because I have not yet seen the V invaders come to our to the Earth. But if you take a look at theirs, they have some tools to identify just for edits, and this doesn't matter whether or not these pictures have metadata or not. They do not need metadata for forensically to identify if they've been edited. For example, this part right here, they're looking at the pixels. It's not looking at metadata at all. It's saying, okay, this cloud's pixels look exactly like this cloud's pixels, so we think it's been cloned, right? Or if I continue down on here, error level analysis. Something has much better quality pixels than something else because something's been added to the original picture, added later. Same sort of thing with noise. So this is something that you can use to identify whether or not an image has been edited. I love this tool. This is one of my favorite tools.
That's great. I have not heard of that.
Oh, I love this tool so much.
I know that you love this tool.
Yeah.
This is one of Kirby's favorite tools.
Yeah.
I love this tool because also here's another thing that I love it for. If you do have metadata, if you happen to have metadata, it's nice where it shows it's the metadata, but it also does the geotags for you, so you can just zoom right straight to the location. It does a thumbnail analysis where you can see the differences that were actually edited from the thumbnail if the thumbnail's original. This is when you have metadata. And two more things that I think are important. The C2PA content. This is something that they're trying to invoke to help for provenance of images. So the provenance means it was taken with this camera, and when it goes to the next tool doesn't wipe out everything. It says, okay, so it was taken with that camera originally, but then edited with Photoshop. And then the next tool says, okay, then it went through an AI tool. And so it just keeps building its provenance history.
Okay.
Amazing. And then the other thing I love about this one is the string extraction. You actually have the string extraction. A lot of this is gibberish. You could throw it into AI and figure out exactly what any of this means. But if you can throw this into AI. Yeah. But also, if an AI tool has edited it, most of the metadata right now doesn't show that, but it usually signs itself in here somewhere.
Okay.
And you can find it. So
wow, that is cool.
Forensically, which is our URL for that. It's not actually forensically. Just search for forensically and you'll find it. But it is 29ACH. You know what? It's going to be in our. It'll be in our
show notes.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So I just wanted to highlight this one because I think this is such an amazing tool. I have another tool for our next topic, though. Do you guys have anything else about editing photos?
No.
I just want to say that there are other photo tools out there. However, forensically is one of the ones that Kirby most certainly loves, but it also is one of the best. Okay, but I wanted to say one thing is if you try to go out and you're grabbing other tools, is make sure to vet them to make sure that they are reputable, real tools and that they don't have malware. So like this one, we know is a good tool.
And it's a pass-through. They don't even upload your picture to them. It's a pass-through. Like it's looking at the picture on your computer and not uploading it to their server.
Yeah.
And what is the cost? What's the cost for this? Because that's always the question.
Free. Yeah, I'm all about free. Free.
How do they keep this going?
You're gonna have to go and contact the guy here. He's got contact information.
Yeah, it would be interesting to have him speak or something sometime.
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, and the next one I want to show you it has to do with video. So for example, if you find a video and you're wondering like where that came from, reverse searching videos, there's ways to do that. So let me switch out my share and bring in another tool. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So this website is mattw.io, and that's kind of a person, Matthew Wright. And he's created some YouTube projects. But the reason I'm going to show this is not just, if it's on YouTube, great, use this one. But if it's not on YouTube, you can still use this technique. In his MW metadata tool, if we go on there, we're going to submit whatever his default image is. When you're looking, I didn't put it on there yet, did I?
Yep.
So I was like, excuse me, Kirby, get this on the screen first. Okay. Sorry. There we go. It's on the screen now. All right.
Awesome.
mattw.io is the website.
Okay.
And if you are on his website and you see he's got 3 YouTube tools at the top. GeoFind's pretty cool. Comment Suite's pretty cool. We're going to talk about metadata though. The metadata tool, if you have a YouTube video, we'll just submit the default one he has.
Okay.
Down here below, besides getting the metadata from YouTube, it's not the metadata from the camera, it's metadata from YouTube. But down below here, if we look at the thumbnails, this is a tool to help you reverse image search those videos. So you can try and find them online. If you want to find a video, and so like one of the things about this case is he wanted to find videos, but they couldn't reverse search it. You take thumbnails and you reverse search the thumbnail.
Oh, yeah.
Sarah, you had something?
No,
Oh, I keep hearing the echo, I think.
it's not my system, so I'm not sure where the echo's coming from.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I'm
we
gonna go
will
on
fix
mute.
it because we're trying to get as professional as possible.
Okay.
But anyway, let me point out that there are tools that will just break out thumbnails for you. And there's also tools that will do reverse search for like pretty much anything for you. So for example, I'm going to move over from this and go and take us to, wait, maybe I'll put it in a different one. The search by image add-on, which is just something that lets you choose a whole bunch of image search tools. So let me remove this and we'll bring up the next one. All right, this is available for Firefox too, but I know most people are using a Chrome-based browser. This will work on Edge, Chrome, Brave, whatever other Chrome-based browser you use. And basically it lets you right-click on a picture. Oops, I'm not even showing it, am I?
No.
Remember to
and I wanted to just say one thing, like if you don't like using a Chrome-based browser because of privacy, Brave is a good option. And then if you want to be more privacy oriented beyond that, is you can actually use a Chrome-based browser in a isolated environment like Chasm.
Right, and you can also use it on Firefox, which you can really customize to make it secure as well.
That's true. Yep. Absolutely.
But anyway, so this one, again, I am on Brave, but lets you right-click an image and you can go to your search by image and you choose your search engines. There's actually a configuration menu that lets you pick out whichever search engines you want, and then you can reverse search by image and just pop a whole bunch of them up. Like I said, all you need is the videos, like likely thumbnails, and there are tools that'll do that besides the MW metadata tool. Okay, back to our list of some of the other things we need to talk about. There's the identifying writing styles of seemingly unrelated people. How would you go about doing that, Sarah or Cynthia?
I would start using some AI tools to start doing analysis on the similarities between the writing to see if there's if it's the same person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, other than bringing in a handwriting analysis, and I've done a ton of those.
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily handwriting though; it's like written online.
Right.
So
written online. So does it come from somewhere else?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I would put it through.
Yeah, and you can also do that for text, so not just signatures, but if somebody is making posts and pretending to be other people, then you take sample text from each post and then you cross compare it with more than one AI tool. You should ideally use a few under different LLMs to cross compare the text to see if it is the same person.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like that idea completely. So, I mean, yeah, you can compare signatures and handwriting as well, I think, with AI. But I haven't done that. But like just even like chunks of text, like this email and this email, were they written by the same person?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think so, AI, and why not? And make the AI explain why they think so, and use multiple AI tools.
Yes, and on top of that, then afterwards, if they say it's the same person and you've used multiple LLMs, is you would still put in your methodology that LLMs were used and further verification may be needed, but that there's a high probability.
Yeah.
Stay transparent so that everybody can replicate and try to replicate your work. Because if they can't, then there's no way to say that you didn't just like make something up and put it online.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's, that's something somebody should write, like some things to remember as they're
Mhm.
going through work, because with you repeating that, it's like, okay, yep, I have to remember to do that. And so there should be like a little cheat sheet of don't forget.
Well, we're going to have everything in the notes below because we have it written on a little page that we're going to copy into the show notes, not below the Twitch screen, but below the YouTube version of this.
Okay.
But there should probably be a little citizen investigation cheat sheet. That might be a good idea.
That's what I'm talking about, is something for them so they can remember, because realistically for us, things come naturally. For
Mhm.
others, that's not their natural state.
I'm wondering, Sarah, what do you think about putting one on Notion?
We could.
So maybe we'll build one and we'll put it out on Notion with our
Right.
Plexus knowledge base.
And do you think it's important because, like, one time, well, this was an adversarial example, but one time it was just guinea pigging a social networking platform, and I annoyed some of the people on the platform, and so they doxed who they thought was me,
And it wasn't you.
and it
Oh.
wasn't me, and so they obviously had a lot of logical flaws in their methodology and analysis. That's another thing, is that when you're a citizen journalist, is you need to make sure to double check all your facts and linkages and make sure they're actually there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Vet your information.
Yep.
I'm going to put that on
Yep.
the list here. Double and triple check.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want to like mess up somebody's life by like saying that it's them.
No.
I don't really want
And it's not. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not cool. And
No.
and also can get you into court. You can ask some
Absolutely. And
some
rightly
and-
so.
people who are out there who are
Yeah.
going to court for defaming people.
Right.
And if you're a journalist, then that's even more, because you're risking your reputation or your paper's reputation. And so it's important that you're as correct and verified as you can be.
Absolutely. I would just, in general, like, it's your own reputation, even if you're a citizen journalist. If you're a citizen journalist and you mess this up, nobody's
Mhm.
believing what you send to them anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're labeled a quack.
Yes.
Okay. Let me give you some resources if you're interested in this case and kind of following along what they did and what they're continually doing, because I think that they're doing something's right and something's wrong. We already gave you the information for Dave Neal, who is basically their public face, their reporter, their investigative journalist. But there's a couple of other things out there for you as well if you're interested in checking out what they're doing. And so the first one is going to be the Justice for Clayton official. So this is going to be where a lot of them kind of like coalesce to talk about things. And to be quite honest, I don't think that a lot of the stuff happens down here, although they do the major news. But it's this pink ring, which means what? Anybody?
I'm not even seeing a
ring?
pink ring, but I'm on my phone.
Okay. There's a pink ring around his profile, around the profile picture.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's a pink and yellow ring.
Yeah, I guess a little yellow over here. But yeah, it means their stories. A lot of their stuff goes through stories, and they do save a lot of stuff in the highlights, but a lot of the stuff is in stories.
Okay.
So that's where you're going to look for in this one. All right, let me take this down and give you a couple other interesting resources if you're interested in this specific case. Another example would be the, let me see. Let's get rid of that. Okay, the Reddit page. Reddit has a history of doing citizen investigations, and not always good, but sometimes absolutely amazing. So anyway, this is places where they're reporting some stuff. There's some other YouTube people who are reporting on this who post in here. And then again, like just little tidbits that maybe possibly other investigators can kind of jump in on if they want to. All right, so we're gonna get rid of that one now. And one more, if you're interested. Again, this is this specific case, but there's a million of these cases going on at any time. This is just one that ended up in felony indictments. So that's why I'm kind of showing this one. But the other one, the last one that I want to show you is the victims page, which, you know, like this tool StreamYard is great, but sometimes, there we go. It doesn't show me what page I want. There we go. And add to stage. A website called Victims of Laura Owens. All right. So then again, it kind of introduces you to the case as well. And you can identify, you know, like you can get the big background story quickly. And especially if you are a victim, these type of pages, they exist. There's probably one on Facebook. There's probably one like in TikTok. They're all, I mean, we did see Dave Neal on TikTok, but there's probably like tons of like places where if you, whatever specific case you are working on right now, there's going to be a place for you to probably talk with others about it. Okay.
And one thing I just want to say is, like, when people are collaborating on stuff like that before they actually post it onto the site like that, is it's good to do it into a closed community like Discord.
Yeah, speaking of Discord. All right. So Sarah, I'm going to put up a Discord, but I want you to tell us why the title's wrong right away, because I think that this is really important.
Right.
And we're going to watch it. Hold on. We'll watch it for a few seconds here. Just a second.
2025, Nepal's government gave social media companies a deadline. Register with the Ministry of Communication or set up a local compliance office or get shut down. It's kind of like what the US did with TikTok, but on a way larger scale. Instead of just one platform being told to comply with the government's safety standards, for lack of a better way of phrasing it, it was almost all of them. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Reddit, X, and so on, but obviously all of them ignored this. So on September 4th, the government pulled the plug, banning 26 major platforms overnight. The move was supposed to tighten control. Instead, it completely lit a match.
All right. So Sarah, if you want to give us a little bit of a rundown and why the title is wrong.
Okay. Well, it's not exactly wrong, but it's wrong in the sense that the formal election was not on Discord. But
yeah, they didn't vote on Discord. That's why I wanted
they didn't vote on Discord.
At first, that's what I thought. And I was like, oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So what happened, though, is led by Gen Z, you know, because Discord is one of the favorite venues for Gen Z. Discord was used for coordinating, for posting propaganda, for discussing, you know, the unhappiness with what was going on in the government, and for actually pushing a lot of the physical activities that occurred.
Organizing the protests, right?
Yeah, organizing the protests. And because the government had suppressed all these other channels that ended up making kind of a herding, I would argue, a herding behavior toward Discord. So Discord actually, like Twitter with the Arab Spring, Discord played a huge role in what happened in Nepal.
Yeah. And Twitter did play such a huge role in 2009 in the Arabic Spring, and that really like launched Twitter to like really. Not that Discord needs launching. It doesn't, because it's already huge. And if you don't know that it's huge, it's because you haven't looked at it. It's not something that shows up in all your Google searches.
Right. And the other thing I wanted to point out about this is that investigators, including citizen investigators, need to be very open about what social media platforms they're going to for their investigations. So if you're looking at people that are in Gen Z, you're not going to go look at Facebook
or X.com.
Right.
No, that's millennials and Gen X stuff, right?
Right. And Alpha really likes TikTok. So
Andrea says One Piece. Is One Piece a new social media that I don't know about yet? Which, I mean, there's a million things of social media out there. So Andrea, tell us what that is.
Yeah, Andrea, I have not played with One Piece. What is it? Is she going to comment?
I don't know. I hope she does.
I hope so too.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it.
Maybe we should invite Andrea as a guest one time.
I think, honestly, I think that you should be. Oh, it's a manga series.
Oh.
It's on a what series?
Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. She's answered.
Oh.
The protests use the flag from the series, from the manga series. So like that's the whole internet culture thing where, and I think that Sarah and I were talking about this, how the frog was adopted
Yes.
by the Portland people. And so the One Piece flag One Piece logo from Minga got used as a flag for the protests. Yeah, absolutely. It's like, it's the memification of politics or love messages. And to be honest, I saw a podcast I listened to a podcast not too long ago about this, and I will try to remember to figure out where that is and put that in our show notes as well. But that was a really great answer. Thank you, Andrea. Andrea, actually, so next week we're going to talk tentatively about the dead internet theory and AI. So if you're interested, please join us.
Yeah.
Because I know she's an AI person. So yes.
That's awesome. Yes, please do.
Okay. Okay, we're continuing to talk about Gen Z and Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Andrea, I'm going to send you an invite to that. So I hope you will accept it. All right. All right, so Discord and Gen Z again. How did I end up in the wrong page now? Let me go find it again. I think I hit the back button on my notes page here. Okay. Discord and Gen Z. All right, let me remove this one and add another one in here. And this one has to do with ISIS. So Sarah can start talking about it a little bit while I bring it up.
Yeah.
If she's interested.
Oh, so terrorist recruitment or terrorist ideology, pushing it toward tweens and teens is when you start, doing indoctrination and recruitment for these groups. One of the natural places for that right now is Discord. And this is an article talking about a tip that was given to the FBI in 2022 about some Gen Zers using Discord for the Caliphate Revival Group, which was a pro-ISIS group on Discord, which would be like essentially for indoctrination and recruitment. But when you look at this again, it really goes with looking at the ages of who's using a platform during what period of time. So in 2010, I think it was 2010, when I was looking at how drug cartels were using MySpace, they've evolved since then. And the same thing holds true with terrorists. So whenever you're looking at who's being indoctrinated and recruited, and if you're looking at that age group, you want to go find the platforms that are being used by that age group. Yeah. Because that's where the indoctrination and the recruitment is probably going to be happening.
Demographics, super important.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we're going to continue on the Discord theme.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about hackers. You think you're safe on Discord? Well,
really?
It's safe anywhere, right?
Zero trust. I don't trust anyone.
Yes, the Sarah theory of the internet is don't trust anyone.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
So,
Sarah,
I actually like this article because it showed one of the problems with using identification for age verification, and I am very much against social media platforms requesting and using
your government ID.
Government IDs for age verification. I think that's absolutely horrible. I think it's an OPSEC nightmare. I think it's a privacy violation. I'm totally against it. I think that there's other ways to go about it. So I think this is an example of where this policy goes wrong.
I think that you're right, but I think that I can see why they would want to use government ID photos. That's the simplest thing. They're like, okay, these government ID things, they've already been proven and we can mostly check against it. Most people are going to be honest about it and not try to Photoshop it. But if they Photoshop it, maybe they can run it through forensically or some metadata tool, whatever. But I see why they want to. What are some of the other options they have for verifying age? Specifically the under 18s. So that's the trick. So I'm like wondering whether or not that is like something where like, I mean, there's almost no way to do it without like some kind of information problem, because like they could do credit checks, but then are you going to let them do credit checks? Because that's even worse
No.
than.
So
Yeah.
in Germany, I forget what it was, but I had to be verified for something, and I actually had to talk to somebody briefly via Zoom for my age verification.
But here's the thing: is that some people who are 18 do not look like so. For example, I have a niece that could easily pass as 12.
But there's a major flaw with this as well, though. And that major flaw is now with the AI. You can very easily make a fake government ID for age verification. So, I mean, it's how effective is this?
So Andrea points out that SubSub or Jumio are better options, maybe, and these are very specifically identity verification providers.
Yeah.
So that they would be kind of like OAuth, where you have these authentication tools that help you do the two-factor authentication. And maybe so instead you have these other like one company, and they're the ones who are responsible for securing and making sure your government ID doesn't get hacked.
Yeah, but you know what? It's still not much different because
I mean, that's
it's
like
someone else that has that information.
Yeah, but I mean, there's like that's the kind of the idea. I'm wondering.
So, as you're talking of Meta doing this, LinkedIn, when you look at LinkedIn and go in about that, you know, how they verified, you look for the check mark. And a lot of times they use it with the government ID. That is the majority of the time, or they may use as a work to verify they're a student. So they would use a student ID, or for work, they would use their. No, not a work badge, just a work email. So you have to, even for like law enforcement or government or just for Finnegan's Way.
Law enforcement and government, do not verify yourself with your email. That's not a good idea.
But that's what they do with LinkedIn.
Right. Yeah.
So you're really giving out a lot of information no matter what you do,
and that lets
because
them
people want to verify you're a person and who you are.
Yeah. If you verify yourself with a government ID, or not a government ID, but like I work for the government ID, whether it's your email address for law enforcement or whatever, then you can be put in a bucket of track this person to like give me the intelligence about who's getting investigated or whatever. And I just I don't like that idea at all. Nope.
Yeah. You are screwed either way you go.
Yeah. All right.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so let's bring in another thing. Okay, so this time we're going to kind of throw back to last week. And last week we talked a lot about 764. Was it last week or was it the week before that? Sarah?
Last week.
Okay.
Last week.
Like,
yeah, I think it was last week because I wasn't on last week.
Okay, so let's see. We're going to share a screen. And this is kind of going to going to the idea of these kind of different groups. Now, I want to highlight, before I share this, I'm going to highlight what Andrea just said. The OPM hack give you monitoring for life?
Yes, me too.
Not me.
I heard that also.
I was a contractor at that time. I don't get monitoring for life.
But I was a contractor at that time, and I did.
Yeah, but your husband wasn't. I don't get monitoring for life. I was lost in the OPM hack. I do not get access to the monitoring for life.
Oh man, that's not good.
I know. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out real quick.
You know that I haven't heard of OPM in a while, but in the 80s I did work for them for backgrounds.
For OPM? Yeah, well, OPM, the hack was anybody who got a security clearance.
Yep.
So anyway, okay, so let me kind of show you, this is, speaking of Discord, we're going to throw this on here, but there's a whole bunch of YouTube channels talking about interviewing 764 members.
Right. Oh. So I thought this was interesting from two perspectives. The one is that you have possible citizen journalists that are not trained journalists that are going out and talking to members of 764, at which point you have to wonder, what OPSEC things they're putting into place to protect themselves. The second thing, though, that I found this to be interesting was there was since there was such a cluster of them on YouTube, in a way, it's almost like an inadvertent advertising for 764, especially with the way that they're doing the recording, and it's being targeted obviously to a younger audience versus an older audience.
Like
So
Gen Z, they're more likely to be
right, yeah. So that I thought was also interesting, and you know, some of them could be fake 764, like where they're pretending to do an interview with 764. But it certainly was interesting that there was such a cluster on YouTube of people going out and interviewing people from 764.
You know, I want to compare this to there was like at one point, maybe a year ago, where there's a whole bunch of YouTube channels that decided they were going to do catch a predator themselves. And they started luring, you know, people who are looking for a younger age or whatever on different social media. And they would like meet up with them, interview them, and try to hold them in one place and call the police. And sometimes the police were like, "You're not coming.
Right.
We don't know what you're doing," you know?
Yeah.
Because they don't. Like, okay, citizen, whoever you are. So that is, again, do not poke the beehive. Do not touch the poo, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. I got a whole bunch of, actually not me, Sarah has a whole bunch of videos for you to go ahead and check out as far as the YouTube videos. But what I want to do is I want to show the next part, which is actually where else they've spread. Right, Sarah?
Right. Yep.
So I'm going to get there. If you want to start talking, feel free.
Yeah, so 764 has been very active.
Not just 764, I think their next iteration as well.
764 and their other iterations have been very active on Discord and on Roblox and on TikTok. But in actuality, groups like this are in other places, especially the ones that are being like quote unquote more squirrely, or they're actually being more active in some of the darker stuff. So one of the things that some of these groups or affiliate groups or ideologically affiliated groups will do is they'll go to indie platforms, meaning independent platforms. And this is an example of somebody who had 764 graphics that they were making for 764 on a indie platform. That, which is itch.io, which is an independent gaming platform. And then if you did a site restricted query of itch.io, and you do a site restricted query of it with 764 or affiliate terminology to that group, then you'll find clusters on itch.io that might be affiliated to 764. And that would apply to if you're doing investigative journalism, that would apply to any indie platform. If you find one there, and if the restricted site search capability is available, then you can check and see if there might be any other clusters under the same domain.
Cynthia, did you have some comments on that?
No, I absolutely do not, because I'm learning about 764.
Okay. If you watch our last one, we talk a lot about 764 and like the fact that 764, like a lot of people got busted from that. So like they may still recreate 764 other whatever. They may keep that name, but some others are creating their own names of their own groups.
Yeah.
And I forget what it was, like Com Boys and Com Girls or something.
I think the com stuff is like the everybody group, and then
there was a sub-component of that's already spun off.
Yeah.
So
we have it in our last video.
Okay.
Okay. You know, we're gonna run low. We're gonna talk about our next topic and then our slop of the week. And then we'll move the other thing to next week.
Next week, that's
okay.
Fine.
So let's talk about our next topic, which is, yeah, that got rid of it quick. All right, maybe I need to do that from now on. I didn't mean to get rid of it first, but it worked. Okay, not being political, but social media gets monitored, and cases can happen where you might lose your visa because of whatever social media you say, and depending on where you want to go, how they feel about it.
And that's not just the United States. So, I mean, there's been places where I've traveled to that I know that if you post something negative about that government, theoretically they could say, you can't come in.
Even governments we might consider friendly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's, what's going on right now, though, is one of the reasons that I wanted to also point this out as an example is just general OPSEC. When you're posting anything on social media, is you really need to think about how other countries might think about what you're posting and whether or not you care.
Right.
Do you care if you're not allowed into XYZ country? And then the other thing that I thought was concerning about this, though, was that there's a section in this article that they requested that people report and tell on others and that can be used for kind of social media swatting, for lack of a better term. So if you have people that are going to be reporting on other people simply because they don't like them, those people can be targeted. So
right. And to be quite honest, like say it's a private account, so that you just don't like this person, you report on them. The account's private. They might be on a list while they get figured out.
Right.
And then they find out that was never created. For example, in my classes, I show you how really easily you can make fake news, right? But and Andrew says this is very meta because we are on social media right now.
Yes,
it's very meta.
True.
Okay. Sarah, tell us what AI slop is.
AI slop is all of the AI generated videos and images that are flooding the internet that are fake. And some of them are couched as being real. So the following example of AI slop, which is inundating the internet, some people oddly thought was real, although I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, the thing is, there's a lot of it out there, like just like things that I think that actually the creators of geospy.ai just posted something where they said, hey, this is AI slop. It was AI video that none of the other AI tools could identify was AI, but his did. Now, to be honest, to me, if you're telling your tool identify something as AI slop, let me practice it with my examples, and then I'll believe you. But anyway, here we go. Here's some AI slop of the week. And the thing is, a rat ran across the table at Al Jazeera during a broadcast. And here we go.
Oh my guys. Oh my goodness. That was okay. Sorry, everyone. A rat just ran across the desk. Let's continue.
And it could be celebrities. It could be, it could be the president. They might have the president say something completely off topic or completely maybe on topic, but also really that would like alarm people.
Yeah.
Also AI slop can also indicate subtle political messaging or subtle opinion
propaganda.
Yes.
Information.
Yeah. So maybe the person who made the at Al Jazeera's desk, maybe they didn't like Al Jazeera.
Absolutely. Yeah. Maybe they were trying to say, okay, this is like a poorly run organization. They don't absolutely. So we just want to highlight that we're going to put AI slop at the end of every episode. Sarah's on the hunt for the best AI slop of the week. If you guys think you find some cool AI slop, please feel free to send it to Sarah. Maybe I'll put our LinkedIn. Cynthia, are you okay with us putting our LinkedIn stuff in the show notes? Yeah. Okay, sure. Cool. So you can follow us and communicate with us there. I think that's the social network where we actually might be most responsive to communication, because even if we're on other social networks are a scourge. But a lovely scourge, but still a scourge. Anyway, before we leave, let me point out that in our show notes, you'll have a way if you want to support us, or if you want to become a sponsor of the show, please let me know. Also, we're on YouTube. Soon, we'll also be live on YouTube at the same time that we're live on Twitch. So keep your eyes open on that. And Andrea says, this has to do with AI. Saturday Night Live News spoof last episode. Host with Epstein. Ooh. Yep, that is fantastic. That is perfect. have Epstein be their host. I need to go look that up now, and I'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, show notes are on YouTube only. So if you're watching on Twitch right now, or if you come back and watch on Twitch, go to our YouTube, which is just youtube.com/OSINTirl. Do you want to pitch anything, Sarah, Cynthia?
Nope.
Not right
and-
now.
Please stop by knowledgebase.pluses.net.
Oh yeah, knowledgebase.pluses.net. And right now, for a very short time, we are offering, because of the federal shutdown, and we know that people are 1, bored, 2, broke.
Yeah.
We have a sale on for our Bitcoin and Telegram class for $25. It was a $225 class. We're offering it for $25 for a short while.
Oh,
Basically.
that's so awesome of you
Hopefully,
guys.
shutdown. Yeah.
Okay, well,
I'm really
hey,
proud of
come-
her. I think I did a good job. But
That is wonderful.
you can let me know if
Yeah.
you think so too.
Okay, so then I'll plug Osmosis because we're looking at free, and we are getting a lot of folks that previously are transitioning. So Osmosis Association.
And your calls for paper. The
Oh, that is, we've only got a couple more days, I think, on that one. Maybe even one day. 3 more days.
Friday.
Okay, so you.
2 more
No,
days.
I think it's 2 more days. Okay, yeah, I knew it was really quick coming up, but you still have a little time if you'd like to show off some of your talents that you have to share with other folks. That would be great. This is for next year.
This is one of
Yeah,
the
and-
conferences where if you really want to get in the OSINT community, this is where you network with those people. So if you
Oh,
get
yeah.
the chance to speak there, you're going to immediately meet some amazing people, mind meld, and just have a great time.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely awesome. So you've got the link so we can spread the news out with that.
Mhm.
Okay,
All right.
awesome.
Thanks, everybody.
Andrea, we look forward to seeing Andrea next week.
Yes, Andrea, we're
Yes.
going to send you an invite.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate it.